So today we're going to have a look at two main things and then some other sort of supporting things later on. The first is the side menu configuration, and the second is how Contacts works and all the various little bits that are inside Contact Us. So we'll start with the side menu configuration, and I'll just share my screen. What I've done is to start off with a no side menu at all, and sort of go through the basics of it from there. So when you're logged in, to use that, you use systems details and update side menu. So normally there's about, I don't know, 60 or 70 items, blank items in at the start, but I've just put 8 in just to start it off. So the first thing is to perhaps to look at items that are in the number of possible items that you can have in the side menu, and that's I'm looking at the drop down, which I suspect you can't see. But I did send out beforehand a note with all the side menu items that are on there, and I suppose I was also asking whether or not everybody is happy with it, that they know what all these items does, or because I was going to, if anybody doesn't, then we can go through any of those. But I think I should just stop sharing this page and share the whole screen a minute, and I think that might you're able to see the drop downs there. Right, so go back to these blank items then, and they're all listed down here. Can you see the drop downs now?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So firstly, I was going to take the just take a simple one to start with. So you want to put groups by title in the side menu. This one is one that everybody can see, so there is no restriction on this. So by putting it into the side menu, everybody who's logged in will see the groups by title menu entry. So need to do is to just make it live. The second entry there, shown draft, is a way of sort of working on it without anybody else seeing it. If you say shown draft, only the administrator can see that particular item that you put in. But if you put show live, everybody will. And then simply updating it. Now, you have to do it twice because the menu is developed before it gets to this side. So you've got to just click it again just to get the entry in. And so now everybody will be able to see groups by title, and clicking on it opens up that particular item. Right, so let's go back to that item again. So you've now got the basics in there. You've got the menu entry. You can then configure this entry in various different ways. You can change its color, change the text size, you can make things bold, you can give it a different name. So you may try and just say, you might rather have group by name rather than group by title. So you can put that in. In some of the pages, you can also put a page heading which is associated with this particular one. So I think this one's got one. So I'll just say. I'll just put that in. So you think you can choose the background color just by clicking on the little square there, and then you get shown all the colors that you can have, and then by clicking on it, you can decide that one. You can put a border around it, which you might sort of choose black. Did I choose black? No, I chose black. There, I chose black. And then you can say how wide it is. So let's just make it two pixels wide. Then you can choose the color. You want something really odd. The text weight. So that's bold, or basically it's bold or normal. Style, and that's just italic or normal. And text size, which they don't actually mean, they're just 4 stages of size. So you can see now at the bottom there is now changed to the color we've done. So we update it. Click again, and now you've changed that. Now once you've changed it, it will stay those colors. The system has got a set of defaults, which we'll come to in a bit, and even if you change the defaults, the name of this one that you specifically named won't change, and so it'll be red with green writing on all the time. Whereas so probably you want to sort of only use these on special occasions, if you like, because you don't want to have to go through all changing 50. If you decide to change the color of this thing, you want to leave as much on default as you can. So if we choose that, see on the name sequence comes up here as the name we gave to the page. So right, okay, so the next thing I think is to let's create a second entry. Groups by day. Shown live, and we'll just stick it in. And now we've got the default groups by day, which is in smaller text than the groups by name, which is a different color. So showing the different options there. So if you decide you want to have groups by day on top of groups by name, then you use the sequence. And the sequence, this column sequence here, decides the sequence in which the main entries are listed. So let's say we'll go with 5 for this one, and 10, no, and 3 for the other one. So if we update that, and then click again, it's now swapped them over. So you've now got the groups by day first and the name second. Right. Okay.
Can I ask a question, Chris?
Please do. Yes.
You mentioned associated page heading, and you said, "Oh yes, I think this has got one." A, why would you want one, and how would you do one if you did?
Well, if you didn't like, so if we go back to the groups by day one, no, groups by name. Sorry, groups by name. If you didn't like, let's just take that out and update it again, and then we go there, and then groups by name. So the default title is this. You may not like group list by group name. You may want that to say something else. So it just gives you the option to change that name if you want to. And so you're doing it by going into the little I on the end, and then you're typing in what you actually want to see there. You might just say group list. I don't know, whatever. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Right. Okay. So generally, if you were just using the menus, you can just go through and put all those in on that on just using the sequence numbers. Now you might want to have some sub menus, and you might want to put the groups into a sub menu. So rather than list all the list types of groups, you might just have a main heading, a main entry which says groups, and then a sub entry with those two items in. So in order to do that, you now create a menu header, which all these default to anyway. So we'll use this bit here. The top one is the menu header. Show it as live. If you're having a sub menu, then if you're using this, sub menu, all the sequences for the items in that sub menu and the header have got to have the same number. So let's say we'll say 3. So all of them will be 3. So that groups those 3 things together. Then you want to decide what sequence that you want the 2 in the submenu to be shown as, and so use the subsequence 1, 2 to decide that. The menu header must have a subsequence of 0. Right, so you've now got to name the menu header, and you do that just by using the same thing as before as this groups. So now now it's only got one group thing called groups. The little arrows appeared on the right hand side, and now you've got 2 items here, which are the 2 items we looked at earlier on. So, okay, right now, if we now put another one in, another sub menu in, let's call it. Oh, it doesn't matter what to call it. Test menu. And go shown live, and we'll give it a sequence of 4 and update it. And we update, and nothing happens. So nothing happens because there are no valid entries which will go under that submenu. So it looks to see if there are any, and if there aren't any, it doesn't display the main one. So this is where it's used when the administrator. So you've got a menu header called administrator probably in all your systems, but for if you like ordinary members, they don't see the administrator main menu because there's nothing in that in their submenus which they have access to, and therefore it doesn't show it. So what you've got to be careful about is that you don't put so if we go back and just call this, for the sake of it, call this administrator. So and we'll now put something in which relates only to the administrator, which is authorities, for instance. So it has to have a sequence of number of 4 and a subsequence number of not 0, so 2 or something. So now we've got it, and then we've got the single entry authorities in there. If you put in if you by mistake, so the fact that you've got something which says administrator doesn't mean that that is for the administrator. It's only because you've called it that. So that if you put other things in there which aren't related to it, like calendar, and so it's got the administrator and the calendar. So so I can see that because I'm logged in as an administrator. But if I now log in as, let's say, I don't know, some random one login, I still get to see the administrator, even though I'm not an administrator, because there's a calendar entry in there which sort of forces the submenu to be there. So you just need to make certain that you don't have things that items that the administrator doesn't, or non-administrator get access to, or if it's a treasurer one, non-treasurer gets access to. Otherwise, it just confuses the situation. So we'll just go back. Right. Okay. So the final bit of this is the defaults, and you've got two sets of defaults. The first one is the pretty much the same as the first one we looked at, with where it you set the color, might set the borders, set the text color, set same items. And then let's see, you update that. So that will change everything that isn't there. So actually, because we've used these as sub menus, if I take it out of the sub menu, we see that the first one I did was kind of where I put in a no, that wasn't it, was it?
I thought it was.
This is,
yeah.
This is because these are sub menu. They get a different. You get a different setup to your sub menu. So I don't want that one anymore. So I want to create that one as a. I want to take him out. Put a 0 in there and a 6 in there. So I've now got an ordinary item here. Groups by name. So if I want to go back to the standard one, hopefully I just do that. No, do that. It went back to it again. That's interesting. I should have to have a look at that and see why that's not clearing. Looks like you can't get rid of it. If you want, you've nailed that. Looks like I've done that. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. That's not clearing the background color, which should be able to do. Right. Okay. Well, I'll move on then from there. So right. So that's the default entries, and then you've got the second ones, which are the heading entries. And that sets the yellow color. It sets the black for the name on the top here, and also I think if you've got messages coming out as well, it sets those colors as well. So you can change those. So just, whoa, horrible. So I change that back again, I think. Right. Okay. So I think that sort of basically runs through the side menu and how you put things in, and so you've got I think 135 different entries that you can put in this menu name, and what's there is a so there are items in here which when I sent that list out, did everybody get the list that I sent? No.
Don't think so. I don't remember. A while ago.
You sent Chris.
It was I sent a note on Saturday reminding everybody about the session. And
I didn't see that.
No,
I didn't get it either, Chris.
no.
oh, well, that may be why we are quite short of people today then. Right. Okay. I will send it out again then. And what it shows is each one of the entries, the category in which it falls in, just from an overall classification point of view, but also it shows the selection, if you like, the things that allows the item to, if you set it up on the left-hand menu, but also there is a selection which says, well, you know, only administrators can see this. So even if you put it in, it doesn't appear. So okay, well, it looks like so things like the data structure, for instance, is only available to if you put it in, it'll only come up if you've got report writing access authority. So there are things with authorities in, but there's also other selections that put in, you know, that if you're logged in or not. Yes, if you've things like if you want to put a direct debit mandate in, if you haven't got mandate set, it won't. Even if you've got it there, it won't allow the menu item to be there. And so there's as I say, each one's got their own set. There's the horizontal menu which decides an awful lot of what's shown down the left-hand side. So it takes priority over the list that you put here. So if you've included it in the left-hand menu, but the horizontal menu does not let it. Let's have a quick look. So all these things decide whether or not these side menu entries are shown. Sorry, they're the top menu ones, the side ones. So I'll show you the bottom one because it won't let me show it to you. Oh, I can hide that. Yes. So I think it actually, looking at it now, there's the only things that are in here are the meetings and events. So you can show those are there. There's the additional pages. You decide whether they're shown, and then these links are. Yes, those are also in the sub menu. So sorry, in the side menus. So you've got to switch them on in order for them to be shown, and then this goes over the top of it and decides whether, you know, this link 3 is only shown when you're fully logged in.
So if you want to create something slightly different that isn't in the defined list, you'd use an additional web page as the route to create a different left-hand menu item.
Yes, it depends. If you can show things from external websites which you put here. So in other words, if you've got a URL to, I don't know, a BBC page that you want to put on because it's got an interesting thing, item about the local area or something, you can put the link, the BBC's link, into the side menu, and you do that here. These ones are ones that you create yourself, so you're creating a web page yourself. Yes, so you've got a dozen of those there which you can set up. You can also use this external one to show PDFs and things that you've got stored, probably in the G drive, maybe or even in the system itself. If you have a link, and you can put those in the side menu as well, so they get a direct entry rather than having a page. Right. Okay. Does that cover it, or has it got sort of any other questions about that?
That's probably enough to be going on with, I think.
Right. Okay. Fine. All right.
Thank
So let's move on to the side menu, the U3A contacts. So this page really is for a number of reasons. Reason number one is for your members to be able to see the officers, the members of the committee, or whatever you want to do to list them here, and to give the member email access to that particular member to ask a question or whatever. I've always thought that it's that the page for the member is a bit scruffy and a bit limited. It's sort of it could do with some jazzing up and tidying up, but that's how it is at the moment anyway. It only shows the first three columns, the name of the position. Sorry, yes, not the sequence. The name of the position, the person who holds it, and the link to their email. So that's not number one. The second purpose of this is to be able to set up generic email addresses, so that if you've got a standard address for treasurer that the treasurer uses or the membership secretary uses, and you pass that on from as the people change, you can have a generic email address to that thing, and you put it in here, and that makes it much easier when you do change jobs. Then all you have to do is to go into the generic email address account and just change the follow to somebody else's personal address, or if they use the you don't need to do that if they actually use the account directly. So that's the second thing. The third element is controlling access to the committee page, and that's done here. So where each person you have on this list has got you decide whether they have no access to the committee page. So you might have people on here like the dishwasher I got down here, just for you might decide they don't get access to the committee page, so they'd be a no. You've then got the people who are allowed to view it, which whoever you decide, and then there's the people who can actually update the committee page. You do it here. So right. So, and then the next thing is you decide here whether or not the member sees the person here. So you can have people on here that that you've got the committee access can see this page, and the administrator, and but if you want to put people in here for use, the committee use rather than general use, you can decide that the person is not visible to the member. So that's the visible yes or no there. Yes is all these are being shown. The next item in here is contact points. The system needs particular contact points for various things. probably the key one is the contact us. So, so there is only one contact us. You can't set up another one, and as you see, there's no red cross. You can't delete it either, because the system needs to know who to send the inquiries that are made if you're using Contact Us for not logged in members. If they want to use that, this is the person, Alan Jones, who receives them. Same applies to messages. So that's members wanting to sort of put messages, or there's a link somewhere which is you can click on it and contact the message coordinator there. So the message one there. So you can't delete that one. The venue coordinator is the same. There's one of them, and you can't delete it. Membership secretary, obviously quite a few things go out from the membership secretary or go to the membership secretary, and therefore it will either send it to this address, or if you've got a generic address, it'll send it to that one. And again, no deletion. Groups are slightly different. Groups you can have more than one, but you can't have less than one. There must be at least one, and you're here defining the group coordinators. So if you've only got one set up as for groups, so which I have here, I think. So although there's a red cross here, I hope it'll tell me I can't delete it because you've got to have at least one. So it won't let you delete the single one, but you can add other ones, and then you can delete them. But you can't delete them if they are group coordinators of a group. So if they are already listed in a group as being the coordinator, you've got to take it out of the group first before you can remove them. There's probably no reason why you ever would want to delete it. Although we've had something in the last week or so where we have ended up without a group, and I haven't quite got to the bottom of why somebody's managed to delete the group, the group coordinator, and which caused a problem in the other part of the system, but I haven't managed to be able to do it. So you shouldn't be able to. You should always have one, and you should always have all the group lead coordinators that are in there. You won't be able to delete them. So I think this message actually also said, yes, it also says you have groups linked to this coordinator. Please remove before deleting them. So you couldn't delete that for two reasons. And then the last type of type is the restricted groups coordinator. So this is somebody who does not have overall group responsibility, but has group coordinator control over the groups that they're nominated for. And so the main difference between groups there and restricted groups is you must give group authority to the group coordinators. You do not give groups authority to restricted ones, because if you do, then they become group coordinators of everything. So if you wanted to restrict how far somebody could go, you use a restricted group one, and if you otherwise, so don't give them group authority. But again, you can't delete them, the restricted group coordinator, if they're still in a group. So you have to remove them from the groups before you can delete them, if that's what you choose to do.
So what happens, Chris, if we've got two coordinators?
Yeah.
And one of them is standing down, having done 4 years or whatever.
Yes.
So before I take those authorities away, I have to take it out of every group and assign a different coordinator. Is that right?
No, if you've got Peter Jones is your coordinator at the moment, and you want it to be Fred Smith, you just simply change the name. So there'll still be the group coordinator. They'll still be in all those groups. So you can just put somebody else in.
Right. So long as you've got somebody, and it changes all the groups.
Yes. Oh, well, it doesn't, because it doesn't actually hold the name against the all the groups. It holds this position here.
Position, yeah. Yes.
So you can change who is that position, but the groups have that position assigned to them. So you don't have to go through and do everything. No.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes, I think there might have been a few complaints by now if it had been the other way around. Right. Okay. I think that probably covers the contact page. If everybody's happy with that.
Yeah, can I just recap briefly, Chris? That if, say, I've got a membership secretary and we have a generic email,
Yes.
and if we want to do away with the generic email, you just remove it from the list, and it will revert to that individual's own email address
Yes.
in his membership information.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do
Okay.
that just by simply just going in there and
Yeah.
deleting it and okaying it, and now it's good. Now it's gone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, could I double check this?
Yes.
If someone's administrator and his name's John Smith and he's got a personal email, John Smith at BT Internet or something, registered as a member.
Yeah.
But you give him a generic email of, what did I say? Administrator at U3A.
Yeah.
And if somebody clicks that page, a member clicks that page, the email will go via the contact form, and it will go to the generic email address in preference to his own.
Correct.
Yes.
That's how it's meant to work.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
Although if you allowed in the side menu, you've got contact a member.
Yes, they can go straight to him and it will go to the personal email
That's the
address.
one. Yes. Yes.
But if they go via this page, it should go to,
Yes, the generic.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, I
and
wasn't
of course,
quite-
the member doesn't see the generic or anything, because it's if I just go in as somebody else. That's all they see.
Yeah, and when they click the box, they get the one that they have to fill in their own email and their own.
No. So if let's say whoever was the membership secretary, I can't remember now. Yeah. Oh, here has got one. If we click on that one, it will go to the generic.
Yes, but the member doesn't see it. The member sees that little box that says you're sending that one. Yeah.
That's right. So it's you tell them who you are if you want to. But you don't have to put an email address in there. But you don't know who you're sending it to. You just assume it's gone to the membership secretary in one way or another.
Okay. I've been a little bit baffled by some emails that I've seen on, in the administrator menu, you can see email history,
Yes.
and you get an email of type visitor contact.
So this is sorry. So where was the source?
Well, that's my question. If I log on to the website as administrator, and I can see on one of my administrator menu items is email history, I can see all the emails that have been sent out and sent via contact a member and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Yes. So this is the email history inside the system.
Yes.
Yes.
And and you can search by email type. And one of the types that pops up from time to time is visitor contact.
Okay.
So where do those come from?
I imagine they're from the contact us page,
Does, yeah.
on the logged out section. Obviously, I've taken all mine out for the time being, but
Yeah, well, I took ours out ages ago because we were getting loads of rubbish.
oh
We
right,
still
okay.
get visitor contact, and I'm not sure where they're coming from.
Well, I'll tell you what. Are they there at the moment? I'll have a look if you like.
Well, you can't delete them. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
you can't delete the email history, can we?
Well, yes, it gets deleted after a while.
Oh, you purge it, presumably.
Well, yes. There's a set of parameters which go through once a month, and
Okay.
and you can say how long you want that to be. If you say I only want it go back sort of 6 months, or
Okay. Oh, we can do that. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
we can do that. Yes.
Yeah, no, we only get 1 or 2 a month, but I think what's that doing there? Because I took away the visitor contact page. Because
Okay.
a lot of what I want them to do is look at the website, and then on it says, for inquiries, contact, and I've written it out so that they will actually read something about the U3A before sending us a ridiculous message, which some of them do.
Yes.
It's like, how do I join? Like, and the answer is press the join button. I'm trying to stop people from bothering us with stuff like that.
Yes. Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll take a look and and see if I'm pretty certain that there's well, I know there's a table of I can see where those things have come from, so I'll trace them back and I'll let you know.
Well, they look like they've come from the form, the same form as contact.
Yes,
Contact
although
and
that contact form is used quite a few places around the system. So
Yeah,
I'll be-
it says visitor contact, and it's somebody we've never heard of. But I think, well, how can they have
well,
contacted us without the visitor contact page?
because in theory, the fact that you can actually, if somebody knew, I don't know how they'd know it, but
How would they know that? Yeah.
how would they know that? But yeah, there are obviously sort of scammers and things who may well have recorded that at some time in the past, and
Yeah, it's not spam. We used to get a load of spam in Russian. But
Right.
It's not spam. It's sort of genuine inquiries, but it's
right.
stuff that they could have found out for themselves by having a look.
That's quite common, though, that is.
Okay, look, I'll tell you what, I'll take a look and I'll let you know.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Okay. Right, okay. The next thing was, this was, I've got a sort of a number of queries here which were raised at various times. One of which was raised by Angela, actually. She is suggesting that on new members, the names are not capitalized. I'll tell you what, Neil, I'll use your test system if that's all right.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Okay.
Not much in it.
I know. Makes it easier that way. Right. I would actually know. So what you apply to join. I'm still on the full screen. You're seeing this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Right. Yes. So I think she had a family name of
Oh yeah.
Tool. Sorry. Yes, I think she did. And then when you drop down, it sends it like that. And
Yeah.
so I think her view was that we ought to have no capitalization to allow the person who's typing it in to have it in the way they want it, because probably they have put a tool.
Yeah, and it happens with Scottish names, Muck something.
Yes, that's. Oh, actually, I think it wasn't O'Toole. It was McRae. Actually, thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, we've got 1 or 2 like that where the name's been.
Yes.
Does that?
So So there are upsides and downsides to that
Yeah.
because
The vast majority want it capitalised, don't you?
I would have thought so, but I think what we said was we'd sort of chuck it around here and see what people think. And
Can you not make it so that they have to capitalise it on the Why Not Join Us, and then if required, the membership secretary can make it lowercase if they wish. Would that be too difficult? So
No,
the
that's
rule-
what Angela's been doing. I think going in and
Yes.
and changing it. But
I didn't know whether you could do it. I didn't know whether that capitalised it as
Yeah,
well.
I
I
think
can't
you can.
remember.
Yeah, yeah. I think they then get a message that the membership secretary's changed your name.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Looks a bit odd, but
maybe the thing is to put a check in for an apostrophe and capitalise the letter after the apostrophe.
Well, it's not, the Macs aren't apostrophe,
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah, and MC and MAC.
Yeah.
Those three things.
Yeah.
I can't think of any others, but maybe that will cover everybody's requirements.
I think that's difficult. I think we've got a lady from somewhere in the East Thailand or something, and she's got two names that are capitalised.
What a family name,
And and it takes the
Spencer Jones sort of thing.
no, she's got basically three names altogether, of which two has gone in the surname field and one in the first name field.
Yes. Well, you could, but you
What
could.
he's done is put the two, which would be both capitalised.
Yes. So
It's made the second one lowercase.
Oh, I don't. Yes, it probably does that, doesn't it? Oh no, it doesn't. It capitalizes the second name.
Oh,
Yeah, anytime there's a space, it'll capitalise.
Yes. So what we're saying is increase from a space, put an apostrophe as well, and capitalize. And
O'Toole would work with a space in it, wouldn't it?
O'Toole, if you leave the space, yes.
No, because it's the first letter on the line, isn't it? Well, doesn't it capitalise the first character anyway?
Yes. Well, you. Oh, it does the space. So
Ah.
but
Let's just put a space in.
that doesn't look very good, does it?
No.
Well, it looks better than writing O'Toole, with a small
Yes.
or lowercase.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay. So we could do it for an apostrophe. That would solve that one. And as I say, I think Mac was her problem, wasn't it? So
Yes.
Mac Cray, wasn't it?
Yes, you'd have to make a space, wouldn't you?
Oh, well, or you just look for Mac and make the next character after it capital. MacDonald. Oh, but MacDonald is MacDonald, isn't it? MacDonald is still. You wouldn't want capital D for Donald, would you?
Mm.
No.
I think broadly it works fine, doesn't it? I think as long as the membership secretary can alter it, that should be fine.
Yes.
Maybe you could suppress telling them you've altered it, like you've done for if somebody's resigned, so you delete them.
All you have to do is disable emails going out. Do yourself a little note so you put it straight back on afterwards. You make the change and they don't know you made the change.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds like a solution, that, doesn't it?
I have to do it all the time if I'm saying she won't like me doing that, so I'm not going to send any emails out. I'll do it and then I'll switch it back on again. Only once did I forget to switch them back on again.
Yes. So certainly the space is a solution, isn't it? And so should we leave it like that for the moment?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
Change.
Okay. Right. The next thing was there was something that Alan raised, and that was to do with well, essentially. I think you were asking about the three potential email addresses that are in the system and what they're used for. They're just set up in systems details So let me just yes, right. So we've got the email username. We've got the dispatch address, and we've got the
Email sender.
out email.
Oh, sorry, yes.
So we've got three different ones, and they're all used for something different. So the first thing to say is that the email username is the name of the account, which is that the email is being sent from. And most of the time, it doesn't have to be the actual email address from which it's sent from. And that's where you use dispatch. If you have dispatch, if you only put the bit before the @ because it will go out from the domain name. So this one, in fact, these two are exactly the same. Dispatch one.
Yeah, that's so I can tell them apart from the ones that come from the live system.
Yes, yes. So so they are being those are emails that are being sent out from with that address. The out email address, the third one, is different in that well, that's the same again.
Yeah, they're all the same in that.
Okay, right.
But
The
in
out
the
email
live
address
system, they're different.
is an email address that bulk emails are sent to. So that if you've got, let's say you're sending out a bulk email to 50 people, you don't, they're all blind copied, but you need to have somewhere to send the original email address to, or else it objects and says we've got to send it somewhere. So that address there is where it's sent to. So it's actually going back into the address from which it's sent, which is absolutely fine. And so you're getting a record of your sent emails. So so if you're using Workspace, that's the way it works. If you're using Gmail to send out your emails, then you don't have the option to have a different dispatch address from your out email address. Your out email address is your dispatch address. So it doesn't matter whether you change dispatch address to something else, it will always go out from the out email address, because Google overrides whatever's put there and sends it out from the account you're sending it from. Is that clear then, Alan?
Yeah, the question really was that
Oh,
we asked.
answering a question you didn't ask.
No, well, no, you are in a way. We try and get all our members to put dispatch at Wrexham U3A into their safe senders, their contact lists, things like that. And I was just worried with us now having dispatch 2 appeared because of the changes with Google, I think.
Yes.
Well, that'd be the email username, won't it? Dispatch 2.
Right, so is it okay if I still tell them put dispatch in your safe senders? I don't have to tell them to put dispatch 2.
If your dispatch address is set up at dispatch, so your username you're saying is set up as dispatch 2.
And that's the one that matches the code you generated.
That's the one that's your Workspace account.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you want it to look as though it's gone out from dispatch at wrexhamu3a.org or whatever, then you put it in the dispatch, whatever put it in there. So you don't need to change what you were using before.
Right, so I don't need to tell them to add another one to their
No.
safe senders.
No, that's how ours is set up.
Yeah, if you would have to if you were using Google, but you're not. You're using Workspace, so you'd be fine.
Okay, that's a relief.
Good. Right. Okay. The next thing was I don't know whether you're experiencing it, but I'm certainly experiencing it. When you're using Stripe and you're putting your recently been putting in your credit card number, it comes up with something called Save with Link. I don't know whether you've been finding that.
I certainly do. I see it on every time I use it.
Right. So Neil's got a solution, he tells me.
Well, no, it wasn't a solution. It was just that I wondered what on earth it was. But apparently, if you save your card number into Link, you have to put your email address in and save the card number. You get to charge less at Stripe instead of at 1.5. It's 1.2%. I just noticed the other day that we got different amounts of commission being charged on the same value, and that's the reason. So why on earth it does it and what it is, don't really know. But some of our users use it, so
Yes, so it would be worth encouraging people to use it, I guess.
Can I throw a spanner in the works there, Neil?
yeah.
We get charged 1.2% for all transactions with Stripe, but only because I insisted we were registered as a
Well,
Okay.
I've insisted with registered as a charity.
yeah,
That's a long while ago. Perhaps I need to do it again.
maybe, yeah. We've never had any more charges other than the
1.2 plus 20 pence.
yeah.
I have to address that.
And we did a lot of link payments as well. I had to do it for them. They didn't seem to be able to do it themselves.
Yes, and that still remains the same then. So it's not a discount. It's them that are charging us incorrectly.
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'll deal with that.
Yeah.
I want back payment.
Yeah. It's good. Tell them if it's good enough for Wrexham, it's good enough for Crewe.
Well, no, when I first set it up, it went as a charity account.
Yeah.
Right. Good. Okay. Well, that may or may not be a help. So, but
No, it won't be if that's the wrong value.
but does it actually do anything? I mean, does it actually help? I mean, the next time you go in, does it automatically fill it or something?
Yeah, it does, but Google does anyway.
Yes, if you
let it, but I mean, it's only the same thing, really.
and Link is a Stripe.
I don't know whether it's linked to Stripe or what. No idea.
Oh, it must be because it must be linked to Stripe because Stripe. This is Stripe presenting it in their little box.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So they must have allowed it because they can't.
Maybe it's because then they know that maybe they can verify it quicker that way.
Or maybe you'll go back there again. I don't know.
Yeah.
But well, no, it's not getting you to Stripe anymore, is it? It's just using that account, that credit card more.
Yeah. Yeah, they know what it is.
Yeah, maybe.
And the other thing is they change every 3 years, don't they? Send you a new card, so the number's invalid.
Oh yeah, but you could just have to change it, wouldn't you, when you came to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it would come up again, I guess, if you put in a different, if you started putting in a different number.
Well, I take it you've got your own account in it, I presume, because they ask you for your email address and a password.
Yeah. Right. Okay. A couple of other things that you thought of, Neil, didn't you? Which you were going to mention. The report writer.
Yes, I mean, I don't know how much people use it, but if you are using it, one of the most annoying features is the thing that stops you disconnecting from the server, which is when it returns to home. So if you've been writing a report and you've run it once, you've just tried it, but you'd like to modify it a bit, you'll suddenly find that it goes back to home. And I don't think I realised for a while that actually you don't lose it. If you go back in and just press the plus, it's still all there, as long as you don't leave the session.
Yes, it's stored in your session variables. Yeah.
Well, that could be useful because yes, I've been caught out by that.
Yes, it's one of the annoying features, and I realise why it's done, but it's quite annoying when you when you just spend some time on it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've
if you just
been,
press the plus, it's still there.
Yeah, I've been basically copying and pasting them into a Google
document of some type, so
Google
you can just
document
paste it in.
every time because of so many times it goes
Yeah,
bang. and
yeah, but it's
very
still
annoying.
there. That's the main thing. If as long as you've run it once, it not annoyingly, it usually finishes. Usually goes back when I haven't actually run it.
you could also save it, of course. It's 20 minutes, isn't it? If you
20
don't,
minutes, yeah.
if you don't have a,
Won't necessarily let you save it if you haven't made it sort of work yet.
Yeah.
but I suspect if you have a second window open and just on the home page and just renew it on the home page every so often, then it would log you out.
Yes, good idea.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a clever trick.
And the other thing was about payment groups. If you're doing a payment group and you've got additional charges, that you might just have to make sure that you've done all the additional charges before you add somebody to the group, because once you do, you can't alter it again. So if you've said, like we had one where they'd forgotten to add the single supplement and then wanted to add it, and of course they couldn't because they put people in the group. So as soon as one person's in it, that's it, it's fixed.
It's fixed unless you delete them.
So if you deleted everybody out of it,
Yep.
you would then be able to add things.
Yes.
Right, I didn't realise that because I've deleted. That's why one of ours says cancelled.
Right. No, you can do it. It might be a bit irritating to your members to actually.
Or you could put them in ourselves.
Come in again.
We could add them ourselves. Save trouble in that.
Yes, you could. That's true.
Yeah.
And turn off your emails before you do it. 'Cause- yes. Right. Okay. Right. Well, that was all I had. I think it's 4:45. So, well, no, clearly it's my fault. There's not many people here, and the reminder which I sent didn't go out. So I'll have to it out again, or I'll send out this note
The list,
again
yeah.
to get people to go through it and just sort of see if they know that what everything does that's there, whether or not there's things in here that they might want, which
Can I ask, the reminder, Chris, is obviously great because a few days before you might have forgotten which day it was. Yeah. Could you also put it in the online forum?
Yeah.
So the code's there, because you go looking through all the emails to find the right codes, and then the sort of
yes, I haven't done that in the past because not everybody, because the online forum only goes to people who have previously, if you like, contributed to the online forum. So if you've never put anything up, you're not in the circulation list for that. So
so you need to do both, in other words.
I need to do both. Yes. In fact, maybe what I'll do is to put a link in. I'll put in the forum and then put a link to the forum in the email, so that encourages me to go to the forum. And then
Why not? Yeah, they might learn quite a bit from the forum. Yeah.
yes, yeah, good. Right. Okay. Anything else? Anybody wants to talk
Yeah,
about?
Chris, can you just update our site to the current one? What are we on now? 14 point something, is it?
14.2.
I think you're on 12, aren't you? Or
Yes,
not?
on 12, yeah.
13, aren't you? Yeah, I think probably now. Yes, you're on 12. So yes, I'll put you up to 14. 14.1. Still
Okay.
things on 14.2, minor things to sort out. So I'll put you 14.1 at the moment. The only things that are in 14.2 that aren't in 14.1 are SMS, text messages, sending text messages, and also Laurie's change for the instructor's cost. I think that's all that's in there at the moment.
Okay.
Can you put Wrexham 14.1 as well?
Yes, we'll do. Yep.
Yeah, and us too. I think we're still in the Stone Age. We're on 12 something.
Okay, I'll do those and fine.
Yeah, and if you could add us as well, shortly, please, to complete the list.
Yes.
It's not just the South Coast that's behind the times.
Will do. Fine.
Chris,
Yes.
a while ago I emailed you and asked you about when you put documents into the committee area, you have to download them. There's no view option. And you told me at the time, if you hover over and click it, you can view it. I find you still download it only.
I think that's in 14.
Oh, right.
So
What do you put it on?
if I update you, it will do it. And I think Tony was raised. Tony from Port Mackley, he also wanted something similar, which I think that's in there as well. So yes,
Okay, that's great.
so you should find it there. Okay, I'll do that in the next couple of days. All right.
Okay, thanks,
Cheers then.
Chris. Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
everybody.
you.
Cheers,
Bye.
Chris.